Welcome back, watch fans. Today we are talking about making big money with watches, and it's unbelievable but true, but that is the concept of this channel. The concept of this channel is one thing, to find incredible watches which will increase in value over the next 2 to 5 years as you wear and enjoy them. We're talking about Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and more. And today I'm going to talk about the Patek Ellipse, but also the AP Royal Oak, and which is the better value today. Unbelievable true. So, look, I want to actually address one concept, which is design. I think that the big thing, I think, for watches to have upside value potential, I talked about this in a previous video. The number one thing you want to look for is original design. The original design is very important. Okay. So what are we talking about? Okay, so Patek Ellipse. We're talking about the Patek Philippe Ellipse, which has been very hot recently, doubled in value in the last 6 to 9 months. That watch is an original design. Okay, it's not a reissue. They were done in the 70s. And the ones, by the way, the ones that you want to buy is only the ones from the 70s into maybe the 80s. You do not want to buy a modern Ellipse, okay? The modern Patek Ellipse is dead money. Okay, you're gonna lose money actually. Okay, and I think the same thing could apply with Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Okay, so what are we talking about? The original vintage models for sure, the Royal Oak Jumbo and all that. And I think even up until the neo vintage era, those have upside potential. We're talking about complications like the Owl, the dual time up until roughly 2005. And I believe, like, right now what's going to happen is the modern AP Royal Oaks are actually dead money. Not only are they going to not increase in value, I think we got a very strong chance of losing value. Why is that? Well, again, we're talking about the original design concept. So, I think what's happening with Royal Oak and also Nautilus, we could talk about the same thing with Nautilus, is when you have basically like a reissue, you know what I mean? It's like a reissue. It's a, it's not the original deal. Those, it's kind of a copy. It's sort of like, again, I used the lens of the art market before. There's a big difference between a impressionist painting painted in 1880, which was the when impression was an avant-garde and a new movement. It was original, versus something done in 1960, right? I mean, it could be even a better quality painting, but it's not going to have any value unless it was done during the period. You could say the same thing with pop art. 1960 pop art, early 60s versus something done in 1975, okay, or 1995, whatever, right? There's a lot of imitators, but people want the real deal. So that's going to be a big issue, I think, with the Royal Oak and the Nautilus. And I'm actually very concerned about the Nautilus, modern Nautilus. I think they have a real chance of having a major hit in value. Unbelievable but true. I talked about that before, and you really got to be very, very careful, I think, when you're talking about modern Nautilus. Okay, the Royal Oak, I think, is a little safer. There's a little bit less production, I believe. And the one thing I would stay away from, though, frankly, the new perpetual calendars that they're doing, okay, with the tapisserie dial. Why? Well, it's too busy. The design is just, I know the watch is kind of cool from a distance, but it's just too busy. You can't read the dial. It's not a clean design like the Patek 3940, or even some of the older Royal Oaks, like from the 80s, when the dials were cleaner, when they had the smaller tapisserie. When you have the Grand tapisserie, which is beautiful, by the way, I love the new tapisserie. Since 2005, the brighter, the beautiful tapisserie that they're doing is, I think, amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing. The problem is, it's I want to see the tapisserie. I don't want to see the complications. I mean, you could have one or the other, but it's too busy with the tapisserie. Like, especially the new issue that they have now. The new, which is actually a very cool movement, which is, you don't have to have any pushers. No, you don't have to use a little tool. You just do it from the crown. You can do the settings and the perpetual from the crown. But the problem is, my friends, the problem is that the dial is too busy. Again, tapisserie is, I think that with Royal Oak, it would be the ideal way to do the Royal Oak, frankly, is the way it was the original, which was two hands, the new tapisserie that they have, okay, no second hand, and that's it. Yeah, maybe you want to do a date in the same color. That's it. That's all you need, okay? You don't need to have a second hand. You don't need to have a perpetual. I mean, the dual time I think is okay because there's just only three things on the dial, or the owl. I think the owl is even pushing it. Okay, I don't think you could do the owl with the new tapisserie because it would just be too busy. Anyhow, that is what is going on in the market. So again, the ellipse. Why does that have legs? Again, original design, just like the Cartier Crash. Okay, the Cartier Crash, original design. Okay, and some of the shaped cases you could say are original design. But again, I said this before. I believe that I'm certain that the ellipse is going to have a lot more upside than the Cartier Crash. The Cartier Crash is overhyped, overvalued, and it is going to zero. Okay, to zero. That's where it's going. All right, unbelievable true. Leave your nasty, vicious comments below. Let me know what you punters think, and make sure you, if you're not a member yet, click the join button to get access to our top secret content, become an aristocrat, and also we're going to give you a free watch collection review. All you got to do is send an email to brutalwatchreviews@gmail.com, brutalwatchreviews@gmail.com, to get your free collection review. All right, see you in the next one.